Coffee, that's your people them, yeah? Andrew Blacks, that's your people them, yeah? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, people? I would love to sit here and say, I hate to say I told you so, but I don't hate to say nothing. I love to say I told you so because this is the exact thing that we were talking about when I said you can't let this youth just come up in dancehall like it's all embracing man with open arms, like, yeah, it's all well and good. You can just come and do this thing here. And you know, like I tried to be objective, people. I tried to be, I tried to be balanced. You know, like sometimes you just got to throw the information out there, provide the information, and then hope that people connect the dots for themselves. Because you can't always go too hardcore with it at the same time. You get what I'm trying to say? But at the same time, you have to draw a line. People, you have to draw a line because I got the heebie-jeebies. As soon as I see this youth was trying to do a dancehall track, I said, nah, something is... There's something up with this. It don't feel right. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Lo and behold, he drops a dancehall track. Couple weeks later, man is at the Grammys doing this foolishness. I mean, people, come on, look at the name of the track. The name of the track is called Unholy. Like, what are we doing here? And it's the Grammys, what station that is played on, right? CBS. Look at the logo for CBS. I don't need to explain that one, people. I know, like I said, the community already knows what time it is. Look at the logo for CBS. That's the channel that the Grammys are played on. So it shouldn't come as no surprise. But the name of this track, Unholy, and they won an award for Best Duo Song and Best Performance with a track called Unholy, dressing up as the devil. So you win Grammy, like, people. So what? What did Andrew Black say? Music has no face or gender. Alright, cool. So it has no face or gender, but you want this satanic thing up in the culture. This is what you think it is. Because you can see the difference between when someone is trying to pay their gratitude and pay a form of respect to a culture or a music. That's one thing. But you can also see when there's an agenda and man are trying to get in through the back door, pause, yeah, and take over the thing and put bad negative energy and messaging in something that's not that. I don't know about it. I can tell the difference straight away. And as soon as I saw it to begin with, that's why we had to do the video on it, people. And you know what, yeah? Big up the community, yeah? See, this community we're building is the truth. You lot are the truth. Like, we're not, this ain't, I keep saying it, but I read the comments in it. Like, big all of you up that have subscribed to the channel. I read the comments. Anyone who posts a comment, likes the video, like, I'm up in there. I respond as much as I can. You know what I mean? But generally speaking, everyone saw what I saw. Like, you connected the dots. Like, you get it. Like, man didn't have to, we're not spoon feeding anyone on this community because you lot get it. You lot are the best. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But there were one or two comments where it was like, the energy was a bit missing the point, if you see what I'm saying. But I do understand it. So the point was kind of like, where there's bigger things going on in the world, there's bigger issues than Sam Smith doing dancehall, and people are hungry and like, don't get me wrong, I get it. I do. People love, I get it, honestly. But we can't control everything. There are bigger narratives in the world and government and politics. And do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, we as the people on the ground level can't necessarily influence or control all those bigger things that are going on that we ain't happy with and that ain't for the people. But I get it. I understand where you're coming from. But there are certain things closer to us that we can control. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, there are things that we can control. And I feel like if we can't protect our culture and our values and the foundation of what we've built, yeah, then what can we protect? So no, we can't necessarily change the political climate, but we can say, nah, I'm not supporting you doing a dancehall track as an example until you show some sort of credibility or pay some sort of respect or homage or get a green light or a pass to come and do that. No, you're not allowed in this thing. And like I was saying on the previous video, go and check it out. The link's upstairs. Unless you get a pass from an OG to say you can come and do this thing, you can't just come. You can't just do that. It doesn't make sense, because then you get this type of behavior. Now, Tutu's fast forward however long, my man becomes embedded in dancehall culture. 2 weeks later, he's doing devilish satanic rituals. So your child is flicking through a dancehall playlist, and then Sam Smith and Kim Petras' Unholy pops up. The two are now intertwined. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That's now a representation of what, like, it can't run, man. This ain't what it was for. This ain't what dancehall music or the culture was built on. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's not even about a gender thing. Andrew Black said music has no face or gender. Alright, cool. I agree with that part there, yeah. But this ain't about gender, sexuality, about being gay, non-binary. It ain't got nothing to do with that, yeah. Because I know gay people, and the gay people that most gay people, at least the ones that I know, or have heard about and what have you, are woke. They understand a lot of what's going on, in the same way that the black community is woke. It's like, and let me draw the comparison by saying, the closer you are to being disenfranchised and alienated from mainstream society, the more you see the issues with mainstream society. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. There's a load of gay people that are fully woke and fully understand what they see, and they don't even support this whole LGBTQ plus thing. They don't support it. It's not their thing. It's like, we're looking at it and saying, well, because there's this agenda, it must be powered and driven by the gay community. But it's not necessarily the case. Don't get it twisted. It's not necessarily the case. Don't get it twisted. Don't get confused. This is how they confuse us. It's the same way that the BLM movement ain't necessarily backed by the black community. As soon as I saw that whole BLM thing after the George Floyd situation, I said, nah, this don't look right. This, you can tell the difference between something that's genuine and something that's heartfelt and something that's an agenda and is a media narrative. You can feel the energy is just off and the energy is different. So as soon as that whole BLM thing came out, I could see, like, I'm not in it. It don't make no sense. And all my people said the same thing. It don't make no sense. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So it's the same thing with this, with all these agendas. Don't think, and that's what they do. They'll pick the most disenfranchised communities, place an agenda behind it, knowing that those communities don't have a voice in the mainstream. So they'll get behind it, not knowing that they're using this as a Trojan horse to introduce this type of foolishness. You think the gay community supports Satanism? How do the two go hand in hand? The two, like, it's not the same thing, but they'll use it as a Trojan horse to implement these type of agendas and pushing this into culture. And this is what Hollywood does. I done a video the other day. It's funny, like, all the videos that I'm doing are intertwined, even unbeknown. Like, I don't believe in coincidence, but let's say by coincidence, they're intertwined. Because I done a video where I broke down how this satanic business is is manipulated through music and through Hollywood. If you haven't seen that video, go and look at all the examples that I shared and add this Sam Smith thing. This is just another one of a long list of examples. In that video, you just, every time if you see it once, then you just see it a million times. You start noticing it and connecting the dots and thinking, rah, I thought that was just by accident or coincidence, but it's not. It's by design. And then I've done videos about the brand that begins with B. To my subscribers, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not casting spells. I'm not saying the name of the brand because I don't believe in that. And you're calling out spells and all of that, people. But you know the brand I'm talking about. And it's the same thing. It's worshipping the same thing. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's all connected at the end of the day. And, you know, I'm believe it or not, I'm on a positive thing, really. But when you see all these foolishness going on and it's touching your people and touching your culture, and we're turning a blind eye to it, but that's for us to protect. That's when I draw the line and say, nah, like you can't do that. I'll stand up and say, I don't support this thing because this ain't what dancehall music's about, so I don't support it. And I'll say that publicly, like I'm saying it on the video. I don't support my man doing dancehall because he's blurring the lines between dressing up as a devil and worshipping them kind of things and our culture and our foundation. So there you have it, people. And like I said, going back to the agenda, it's not a gay thing, it's not a straight thing, it's not a non-binary. Be who you are, like that's cool. That's got nothing to do with this. The agenda, it is what it is, isn't it? But like I said, people, there was a reason I put out that Sam Smith video a while ago saying about the dangers of letting my man just do dancehall without getting any cosign. Getting a cosign from Coffee. I'm sorry, Coffee, this is your people. This is what you're backing. This is what you support. All right, cool, do your thing. I'm not like, I don't check for your music anyway. Andrew Black's, brother, like you produced the track, but you came out and said with Chest, music has no face or gender or whatever it is, so you just wanted the bag, but now you got to stand on it. This is your people. I don't check for your music anyway. Cool. But this is what I'm saying, people. Just, you know, it starts at home. What do they say? Charity starts at home. But it's same like this. We can't influence the bigger picture, but we can influence on a small micro level in our communities and even in our families and even with ourselves. When you see something and you know the energy's off and it don't feel right, then call it out. You know what I mean? Call it out. I don't want to see no more dancehall music from Sam Smith. I don't want people turning a blind eye and saying, oh, it's only music, there's bigger problems, because then look. It'll be an even bigger problem when our generation's gone and our children have to face up to a generation where this is all they're seeing on their TV and all they're seeing on their phone or on their computer. Then what? Then you wish you would have said, nah, I should have said something at the time. But now it's too late.